Good afternoon, Team Navarre. Mr. Kiley here on a wonderful Wednesday. Today's date is April the 29th. This is your junior adult black belt, junior black belt kickboxing class of the day, second one of the week. Kind of going further into detail what we worked on our Monday class, with again trying to taking apart, reviewing the combinations, having those things nice and strong, but at the same time making sure that you stay open-minded and you don't stay just within that frame. You learn the combinations to get a feel for how to alternate strikes and how to alternate different target areas, but at the same time, I want to make sure we have enough time to work outside of those combinations so that we don't get too locked in on those, because a lot of the strike work, much like in sparring, we teach you a bunch of different combinations, a bunch of different techniques, but then how you apply those, how you combine those is completely up to you guys, as long as it's safe for you and your partner. So the kickboxing is very much the same way, because not every combination you learn is going to be one you necessarily like or are comfortable doing. And so I want to make sure that as much time as you spend working the combinations, because they are very helpful and it's a very good starting point. Okay, it's a very good, just a way to build the ideas that we're trying to build. Okay, I want to make sure we also spend enough time working, like last time we worked, how to make our head move properly with bobs and ducks and weaves and even feints and what those kind of fall into. Today, kind of more of the same thing, but working from getting your hands up, working from a different frame. If the head movement and the stuff like that, all of those would be done with enough space to do so. I wouldn't want to work on the head movement if I was way too enclosed. The blocks and the covers and the shields and the parries, those and the scoops, those are used from a different level of distance. If your partner is a little bit too close and you don't have time to get your head out of the way, you have time just to cover and shield, or it can be used from if you just want to cover and block so you can then quickly counter. So there's a lot of different ways in which you'll use all these functions. And so let's go ahead and get started. Let's get warmed up. Let's get our body moving so that we can start to apply all these different types of information. All right, be each other. Good to see you all. And bow. Shake your hands out. Side to side, up and down. Roll them in a circle. Other way. Other way. In and out. Very good. Reach up real tall. Out to the side, reach down real low. And back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a step out with your feet. Stretch down to the middle. Over to your left side. Over to your right side. Bend your left knee. Switch sides. If you can, slide both legs in. You're actually going to sink your heels to the ground. Good. You're going to put your hands on the inside of your legs and push out. This is a harder stretch to do, though. And then sit all the way down. Oh, no. I'm falling backwards. Okay, got it. How's it going? Legs in nice and tight. I miss you guys. Hope you're doing well. Stretch forward. Put your left leg out. Stretch down. Switch sides. Take your legs out. Body's up nice and tall. Kind of make sure one of the biggest things we're working for when we're doing movements like this and we're taking our time doing it is you're trying the best you can to not only do the stretch correctly, but also really pay attention to, we call it listening, I call it listening to your body. Just paying attention to what the chain reaction, right? The cause and reaction, the cause and effect, sorry. If I do one thing, what does that end up doing to the rest of my body? And by feeling those things out and knowing what to expect, a lot of times you can then help make your stretch more effective, or you can stop yourself from hurting yourself, or just understand if something's not working, you're starting to figure out why. Because a lot of times it's okay if something doesn't work correctly, but if we just know why. A lot of times we're not really, if we make a mistake or if something goes wrong, we're not actually upset with the mistake. We're upset if we don't know how to fix it, right? We're upset if we don't know how to figure it out. If it's an easy fix, if it's something we know how to then go back and double check and make better next time, it doesn't tend to frustrate us. But if we make a mistake and don't know why, that a lot of times ends up being the frustrating part. So in something like your split, you're kind of the way you want to build it out is you want to start, of course, very close together, because this is technically, this is my version of the full split, right? My legs are as wide as I can possibly get them correctly. And then you want to push your body forward and try to keep your back straight. You want to try to, the best you can, avoid the rounding, the rolling. I'll show you from the side too. The rolling of your shoulders. Okay, and the tough part is sometimes if we naturally just hang out like this becomes our natural sitting position. Okay, the problem there is it can affect you. It can make your back kind of achy later. It can make it harder to balance. It can make it harder to be powerful. And so instead you work on keeping your body up nice and tall, pushing your body forward, and then you just, same idea. And then the moment you notice that when your legs going out starts to make your body come forward, good, that means they've gone too far. We've already talked about before, if you take your leg out wide enough and it makes your knee bend, that means it's gone too far. The second phase to that is if you walk your legs out far enough and it makes your body roll and round, kind of forward like that, that's another way to go, ooh, I'm going too far. Good, I have to be able to kind of pull my back nice and tight. Because again, all the muscles in your legs and your back and your bottom, they're all kind of intertwined. They all work together. And so a lot of times, like if your hamstrings aren't stretchy enough to go out that far, good, then what it'll do is it'll actually kind of pull on your body and it'll roll it forward, good, to make these shrink up a little bit. So your body's going to cool that way, but you just have to know what to look for. Think about if you touch a hot stove. Good, did your hand just hang out on the hot stove on accident? Nope. You touch it and it goes, ooh, and it runs away, right? Ow. Good, because it runs from the pain. It doesn't want it to hurt itself. So that's the same thing here. It's kind of like if you're not able to touch your toes, no matter how hard you push, your body's going to do something to make it not happen, because if it actually was able to happen, it would hurt you, right? And so instead, it kind of works around that. So our goal, again, is to posture up nice and tall, try to get our body moving forward the best we can. It's helpful now if you're training at home, if you have something to hold on to. It's hard in class because you don't have anything to hold on to. We just have to stretch using ourselves. So if you have something you can reach towards or something you can hold on to and like push yourself or pull yourself forwards, whether it's that partner or if you can find, like I like to wrap a towel like around a bedpost or around a couch, like the bottom of a couch, and wrap it around and pull myself to it. Good, so you can keep your body coming forward. That's a very helpful thing. And then pull your legs in. Put your foot backwards. You're going to work backwards. Some of you guys are able to do that flop down on the ground thing. I am not able to do that. My leg doesn't like that. If you do that and your knee comes off the ground, that's your body, again, way of saying that's too far. So make sure you work instead just like this, and you can slowly lean back. You don't even need to lay down on the ground to max out this stretch. All you need to do is make sure you take this part of your body like you're doing a front kick or like you're doing a punch, and you push that hip forward. You just roll it over, and you'll start to feel all of that get nice and warm. Switch sides. Good. Okay, so we're all the way up. We're going to real fast run through our combinations together just to stay loose and just keep those in our brain. They're also just a very good warm-up, and then we'll expound upon them a little bit. Okay, so again, I'm going to put my gloves on. You should do the same if you haven't already. So gloves are on, working combinations. I'm going to do them with like your back to me like we were doing together in class. So you can kind of feel, you can notice the pivot, you notice the stance, angle of the back. Those are your goals. Ready? So combination 1A, that is the 1A, B, and C are the jab, cross, hook, and then the variation at the end. 1A, of course, is the jab, cross, hook, and cross. Good work. Ready? And go. Jab, cross, hook, cross. Try to make sure you're feeling your hand either on your cheek or on the side of your head every time. Things we talk about when doing the combinations, you should be able to see both hands the entire time. If I can't see my hand, good, then something's wrong. Good. If you're in a defensive posture, your hand should be within your eyesight. Okay. So then 1, 2, 3, jab, cross, hook, round kick. Jab, cross, hook, round kick. Keep your hands up. And jab, cross, hook, uppercut. Jab, cross, hook, body swims, duck, uppercut. You guys did a much better job with that pause and the pop at the end of it. Combination number 2, good, with the jab, cross, shuffle backwards. Jab, cross, shell. And again, the shell is a backwards movement. Come out with a cross. Good. Round kick. Keep your hands up. Put it back with a hook and a cross. Very good. Switch. Round kick. And make sure his hands stay up when you're round kicking. One more time through that one. Jab, cross, shell. Good. cross, round kick. Keep that backhand up when you round kick. Put it back down so I can then hook off of it. Hook, cross, switch, round kick. Awesome. Okay, now next one we're going to work is going to be the last one, which is the double jab. Both variations. The first one just being the back leg round kick. The second one being the step into the high round kick on the opposite side. Ready? And double jab. Cover. Good. And then cross, hook. There's the wind up. And there's the pitch for the back leg round kick. Next one, just step into it. And then the high round kick on the opposite side. So it's the double jab, cover, cross, hands up tall, hook. Your body's buried. Your head is buried inside your shoulders. Good. There's your hook, step, round kick high. Boom to the head. Good. Nice, good stretch there. Awesome. Make sure if you're working the mitts, you're working the mitts. If you need to work both, people doing this, you can. That's kind of why I try to do each one almost twice, so you can both get both work. We are next time we kind of work together on how to do the mitt part properly. So I'm actually going to work that right now. If y'all want to work it with me, you can, because we worked a lot of the strike work last time. So I want to make sure that we're getting both processes down, because you are graded on both, because both are important. So you have your mitts. If you're working with a partner, if y'all want to change and one does the mitts and one does the striking, you can, or you can change that in between classes, or however you would like to do that. Or if it's just me and you, it's just me and you, and that's fine. Good, just grab your mitts, and you can do all this stuff to the air. A lot of times students think, well, if I do it to the air, it just doesn't work. You're still getting the motor skills down. You're still building some form of the process down. Good. Yes, you can't get any impact right now. There's no one to hit you. There's no one to hit me either. Good. And we're just kind of getting the motor skill down. So that once you do have somebody to actually work on with, your hands will naturally go to those positions. Okay, it's better to have something than nothing at this point. That's what we're looking for, all right? So building combination 1A, you're here nice and tight. Good. Hands come up, and it's the 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Jab, cross, hook, cross. 1B, jab, cross, hook, round kick. Make sure you flare that elbow. That is your best friend right now. Good. I don't want to go here, because then I'm asking them to kick me in the elbow. Good. You're also asking them to kick you in the thigh. Good. I want to pop my hand right here on my waistline, so that just because the closer I get to my knee, the more painful if I do get hit in the leg, the more painful that's going to become. Good. I want to keep my hand tucked right on my waistline as I turn my body, so that if they miss, they hit me in the bottom. Good. And then from there also, if they miss high, they hit me either in the forearm or the elbow. By straightening your arm out, you're asking them to kick you either in the hamstring or the back of the knee. That hurts. You're also asking them to kick you in the elbow. That hurts worse. So again, when you're doing it, it's just 1, 2, 3, turn it. And I just want to take the back of my hand and put it on my belt line. And this one goes there. Boom. It's called, what's it called? Shingling. Called shingles. Good. If you don't know what shingles are, think of the roof of your house. Shingle. And then number 1C. The jab, cross, hook, uppercut. And it's just that big smackdown. Very good. Make sure it goes right about forehead level for your opponent, very good, or your partner technically. And then the second one is again, it's just pat, 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 right? Jab, cross, shell, cross. Very good. And from there, the round kick. Take this one and then bring it right back up. Hook, cross, switch, round kick. All right. One more time through that. Jab, cross, shell, cross, round. If you're able to kind of process it enough to then throw the cross, and then this one is already getting into the spot, that's good, because there comes the round kick, and then from there this one comes right back up. Hook, cross, and this one from there, your body's already starting to turn. Go from that cross, so I can then quickly just switch round kick. You don't want to switch feet quickly, so then not, because that keeps the distance tight. Okay, so again, you're not just looking at the mitt part there, you're looking at the distance part there. One more time. Jab, cross, shell, cross. This end's already getting in the motion. You turn your body, take the round kick, boom, bring this hand right back up, keep your body sideways here. So now your body turns for the cross, your body straightens up. It's almost like you're throwing your own punch, right? Boom, and then from there, your body's already starting to turn, and then you quickly switch, drop here. So the funny part is, the switch round kick and then the hold for the switch round kick almost has the same exact footwork, right? If I'm here, I will switch round kick. If I'm holding for it, I will here. So it's almost identical. That's why the mitt holding part is so important, because you're not only learning the combinations better. It also is reinforcing a lot of the techniques the striking part has is within the mitt holding movements, right? Last one is either the double jab or just the double jab. Either one's fine. Double jab, cover, pause, pop. There's the cross. Very good. Here comes the hook. There goes the round kick. That slight pause should have the same kind of tempo as the uppercut in 1C. So same way you go boom, 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 pow, right? Same kind of idea here. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, smack. You have to give them time to get back. So the same from the mitt holding standpoint. It's that 1, 2, 3, pull, push. 1, 2, 3, pop, push. And then here. And then, of course, the last one is 1, 2, smack, pull. There's the cross. Here's the hook. And then from there, you're just going to take your stance is already here. You just take your back foot and you step back and you drop down. It's a small shuffle because they'll end up stepping at the same time you're shuffling and you're here. So at the same time this is happening, they're going there. And so they're loading their hands so they can then put up tall as you're pow. And again, make sure you're trying to eat up on those mitts and you're driving forward. As you're driving forward, you're almost pushing forward and down because their kick is kind of coming up at an angle. And so for me, if the kick is coming up, I want to almost be on top of it and pushing it down. Good. So I'm fighting the kick downwards. Just kind of helps, A, give them the positive feedback they need from a feel standpoint, and then B, it helps decrease the chance of, as the mitt holder, it either going through or sneaking under because it kind of gives you want to hit it at that opposite angle. The same way when a jab comes, we hit it forward, right? We're not hitting a jab down or up. If the punch is coming straight, I want to push my arm straight. Okay? If the hook is coming in a loop, my arm is going to loop. So you're trying to mirror the angle of the strike to give it that feedback, but then also make sure that you keep your balance, right? I'm going to switch back to gloves real fast. So we worked the head movement last time. So now working the blocking movement of all the defenses, how to cover. And again, this is for you. I know you guys probably do not know how to do this, but it's also been literally months since we've actually really covered this and broke it down. So we may have covered it, but you may be really rusty on it or may have forgotten some of the key concepts to it. So it's very important just to go back and hint at it a little bit, all right? And so for you guys, okay, we have your head covers and your body covers. And for me, kind of as we're going through them, I want you to think of all the key components of them and maybe even say them out loud. Okay, when you're doing your head cover, good, main thing you have to happen is what? Okay, first off, your shoulders are raised, and so you're not here. Good, I don't want to be able to see all that open space. It's got to be tight, very, very tight. You're just trying to, there is no perfect universal defense. There's still going to be open spots of your body, but you're trying just to limit the amount of open area is what you're trying to do. You can't completely cover yourself, but you can extremely limit all your vital targets and kind of funnel them into one little zone where you know to block from is the goal. Okay, and so from here I have my head cover, your body stays down, and again, your frame of reference, if you're doing it to me, is you should lose sight of me in your left eye. If I go like this, right, I should not be able to see. If you close your right eye, you shouldn't be able to see anything. You should be looking right at the back of the front of your elbow. Right? If I put my arm up and I close this eye, my eye shouldn't be able to see anything because I'm looking right at my arm. That's all I can see. Right? That's how you know you're doing it right. That's just a little easy tell. If you're sparring, don't do that. I'm just saying when you're practicing, that's a good way to check and make sure you're doing it right. If I go like this and I close this eye and I can still see stuff, then my arm is not closed enough. You need to kind of close off because what that does, that closes your temple line, which is one of your knockout spots. If I just grab the back of my head, my arm is kind of on here, because that's what that's going to either do is leave up enough open area to get hit in, or even if you block the oncoming strike, if there's space, the strike is going to attack the space, and you're going to hit your own self and stagger yourself. Okay, so whether it's one side or the other side, again, the easiest way to check it, whatever side you're going on, close the opposite eye. All you should see out of your one eye, good, is just the back of your elbow, right here, the inside of your elbow. That's it. That's how you kind of know that, all right, everything's covered now. Okay, now the body covers, those are very technical. Okay, from here, you want to make sure no matter what side it's on, okay, is that you don't have to cover all the way down to your waistline. You have to cover, if you've watched a boxing match or a kickboxing match, not necessarily an MMA match, it doesn't really work, but especially like boxing and kickboxing, they have the big gloves, they have the shorts that are really high. Good. Think about how high that's how high your shorts are supposed to be. It's about belly button high because you can't hit below the belt. And so they wear the shorts higher. good to limit their area of strike, limit their strike zone. And so for here, like if your pants are right about here, when you're doing your cover, your elbow doesn't have to go all the way to this belt line. It has to go more likely to right about here. Good. That's why everything's tight. But make sure when you're doing that, good, this one wants to raise up a little bit and cut over your temple. So no matter what side of the body I'm covering, the other side wants to raise up a little bit. Everything stays tight. And then from here, you also want to make sure that there's 2 points of contact. My hand is on my chin. Good. My jaw. And then my elbow is tight against my body. It's very important for both of those things to happen. If either of those is loose, if either of those is weak, even if I block the strike, again, the trick to the kickboxing, the trick to keeping all this stuff safe and making it work for you is you have to be ready to block the oncoming strike and ready for what happens next. It's very rarely are they going to throw just one attack. A lot of times, much like when we attack, it's in combination. So when we defend, it needs to be in preparation for a combination. And so if I just block really strong here, but if I'm just ready to block this one and this hand's down, I'm going to get hit with the other hand. If I block really strong and everything's tight, but it's like this, if they hit my arm and open that up, now I hit an uppercut. Good. Or if this one's not strong, good, and they move it this way, now I hit with a hook. And so it's trying to make sure that when it blocks the attack, it doesn't leave me open for the next thing. Right? Again, that's to kind of wrap your mind around every time we attack in combination. Think about it also from a defensive standpoint. Can you now defend against combination? Okay, that's why when we do our head movement, okay, what we're going to work on next week is taking that head movement and moving one and just starting to understand what should come next, right? If I dodge one attack, what that would put me in line for and what my next movement should be. That's why kickboxing is so advanced. That's why we wait till you're a black belt to learn it, is because point sparring is very difficult on its own because you're blocking normally one attack. You're blocking combinations at distance. Kickboxing is blocking combinations without distance, right? The dance is a little bit tighter. And so just learning to work it that way. So our key blocks to your body are there. We have the covers here. You have the covers here. You also have that center shell, making sure that again, it's not that. If it's that, then it's that, and that's ow. Good, it's here. It's tight to your body. Your body shrugs. Everything, it's like doing a crunch. Good, standing up. So everything crunches up nice and tight because I'm also trying to get my forearms to shield, and I'm trying to get them into my body the best I can. But even if you can't, you're trying to get them to come down in front of your solar plexus. Because you can cover your head all you want, but if you don't get low enough and you get hit in the solar plexus, that's the wind knocked out of you point. Good, then it's still kind of all for naught. And so making sure that you can get both covered. Your shoulders shrug, your body rounds itself forward, but you still have your eyes on target and you're still seeing what's going on. Okay, your center shell is more of a backwards movement. That's if you just kind of find yourself in the fire and they're throwing strong punches and you're just trying to shield the best you can and give yourself a moment to think. Right? Now, there is an aggressive shell, which we'll actually learn now, because I've never learned before. And that is how to step in using your shell moving forward, right? How to actually use my defensive movement almost as an attack. Okay, and the way you do that is from here, I actually step in like this. Okay, the difference, again, is instead of here, because I'm stepping in here, it's almost like a cover, but you're actually using your elbow kind of like a spear. You're not trying to hit them with your elbow, but if they're punching, they're going to hit your elbow and it's going to glance off. So it actually shells and it blocks their oncoming attack as you're moving forward. So again, your shell, you'd never want to do this and move forward because you're just now a big standing heavy bag asking to get hit. You don't want to get hit if you don't have to, right? These are last chance. I can't get out of the way. I can't dodge it, so I'm at least going to shell up. Okay, your aggressive shell is you move in. This hand comes up almost like that tight guard, almost like your cover, but you're now extended. See how my elbow's not here? It's now pointed at them. I'll show you from the side. Ready? So this is my cover. See the difference? And this is my aggressive shell. Good. Here. I am further out. I'm pointing my elbow and I'm going forward. So if they do throw a jabber across, it will glance off of my elbow. Good. And if they don't, I'm still covered to get in, and I can also strike from here. So again, that's the thing we're working on. That's the new part, that aggressive shell. Last part we're going to work is just your parries, which you already know how to do. Again, you mirror whatever side they throw. So if they're throwing their jab and their cross, kind of do it with me. If you're here and you want to parry using the inside of your glove, parry the hand out of the way. If they throw from this side, you block from the outside and push it across your body. It doesn't overswing. It's just, boom, push it to your other shoulder. Another way to think about it, if I have my glove here, this hand should go no further than where my glove is. Let's from the side. So it's here. I don't want to go. I don't want to cross my arms ever. So it's boom. That's as far as it goes. Because if the punch continues, it's free. It's not going to hit me. Same thing here. My border line is my shoulder line. Good. Or just where my other glove is. Good. And then the last one, of course, is the scoops. These are if you want to be aggressive. So I can actually, if the jab comes, I still mirror. If they come from that side, instead of parrying, I will then scoop it. And this puts them to the open side so I can strike. Again, the difference is your parry, if you're blocking from the outside, if I block this side, it would close them off, right? If I scoop, I would open them up so I can then counter. So parries are defensive if you're trying to block and move or block and counter. Scoops are if you're trying to immediately counter punch. So I scoop so I can punch immediately after that. So that's a good drill to practice that is to, if you have someone to work with, they throw a jab or a cross, and you wouldn't hit them, of course, but they don't tell you which one they're going to throw. Whichever one they throw, you will scoop and then just get used to throwing that backhand. So whether it's a uppercut or a punch or a hook, and same thing with the other side, boom, boom. You can also practice the parry one too. So just do that mirror drill where they throw a jab or a cross. But again, the purpose, if you're the puncher, isn't to trick them. It's just to get them used to visualizing and seeing and connecting those dots of here comes the hand, there goes the parry. You're trying to build that reflex. So I'm betting right now if I lined up like this and I down block into a punch, you'd all step back into a Suto block, right? Because you're good black belts. You've built that response. So now we're trying to do the same thing, okay, from a different frame. We're trying to build that response, okay? Well, I have new goals for you guys Monday. From a holding standpoint, from a striking standpoint, we're going to work on a different way to apply your combinations. I'm really excited about it and just kind of help get creative all on your own. That's going to be your goal. We're going to kind of wrap this class up now. Thank you for your effort today. We do have a sparring class for you tomorrow if you want some extra run, some extra effort. That's all I have. I appreciate you guys. I miss you guys. Looking forward to seeing you very soon. And bow. You are dismissed.